It's the Z Fold 3. I almost feel like we need to like. Did you see the ad with the phone and it does the rotation and it's all the different colors? Actually, you know what? No, wait. I think we need to stop. I think we need to put that. People need to see this because it's not a long one. But it's just such a great ad. It gets you so hyped.
They
So
are
wait,
seeing it now. As we are talking, they are seeing it
no, shh. Let the people watch it.
in silence. That
Okay. Did you see? Did you see that? Did you see? Like, I wish someone could film a video of me just like rolling around like that and looking that good. I don't know, in chocolate, no chocolate. I don't care. Just make me look that good, okay? Please, because like the Z Flip is that fun, cool kind of phone. This is that refined, elegant, and I'm like refined and elegant rolling around like that doesn't seem like it goes together, but it does. It wouldn't if it was me in the video. So
you
you
also.
know,
It's very funny that you're referring to yourself as the fold phone
listen, yeah, I used to do yoga a
because
long
it's
time
not
ago.
straight. That's what I'm.
I mean, I was just gonna say I used to do yoga, so I could. But okay, wow. I mean, you could have said that about a flip, but whatever. Uh, shush, stop it. Okay, Z Fold 3. We knew this was coming. We saw the leaks. It looks like the leaks. Um, I like it. I like it a lot. I know what the big controversy is going to be about this, and it's going to be about the S Pen. We're going to get into this.
Yes.
But let's just run through some of the specs and the announcements of the Z Fold 3. So, 6.2-inch outer display, which is pretty much the same size as the outer display on the Z Fold 2, but the actual sort of body around the display, there's less of it, so it's just mostly display on the front. Now there's a lot less sort of bezel and stuff surrounding it, so it actually feels like a smaller phone in hand, even though it's got the same size display. The outside display is now also 120 hertz, which wasn't the case on the Z Fold 2. That was 60 hertz on the outside and 120 on the inside, and I was like,
So, has are they just basically stepping up to? Is this the whole world stepping up to 120?
yes, but I mean, to be fair, you've got other phones where they're going up to 144 hertz. I think another company is touting 160 hertz. So, it's upping it.
We going up. Okay,
We're
so
going for a smoother experience, which I think is really cool. The inside display is 7.6 inches. Wait, how do I?
I'm gonna cut that piece out alone and just have you going.
Listen here, this is like men on dating apps where they're like, 9. And I'm like, do you know how a ruler works?
No, it's a
Because
Note 10, please.
you know how a ruler works, because no. So 7.6-inch main display, also 120 hertz, also folding glass. The outer display is what they call dynamic AMOLED 2X display. It's just a fancy name for it's a really impressive display. Let's just go with that. And they've also got this thing called Eco Squared technology, which apparently makes the screen brighter. I don't know if it's inside or outside or both. I'm assuming both. Makes the screen brighter by 29%. And I'm like, why? Why? It was already so bright. Do I need them to see me from space? But apparently I do.
Okay, so we've got two screens and both can go extra bright. What
Mhm.
is the battery on? This is the question we must ask. Because I'm fine with having a screen that is big and uneconomical when it comes to battery.
Uneconomical. Is that even a thing? You know, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't actually know. Samsung didn't tell me
I
what
hope
the
it's
battery
I
size
hope
is.
it's not a simple 5,000 because
The,
I
it's
would
gonna
it would be let down.
it's gonna have to be like a 5,000 or 4,000 something because it's a folding phone. You're seeing where's that battery going to go?
They can almost put it between the screens.
Not as a sandwich. We're gonna double check. If we can find the answer to that, we'll pluck it text on the screen somewhere. If not, then watch the Samsung stuff again.
It just came out,
Um,
guys. We're all getting the information now. Please calm down.
listen, people know already had hands on with the thing. Okay, I told them they heard it in this thing. You know, Samsung loves some of us apparently, but not enough to tell us all the stuff. They're going to keep some secrets. Um, but yeah, the phone also weighs 271 grams, which is not that bad.
What? How much is the S21 Ultra?
I'm actually just gonna check. I
Because I feel
don't
like the
know.
S21 Ultra is the heaviest phone at the moment.
Listen here.
it's
Listen here.
I've got one and it's a bit of a weight. So
That phone is unnecessary. The S21 Ultra is 229 grams, so it is a little bit heavier,
it should be heavier, but I just want to know how much heavier,
but it's
because
not that much.
it would make sense because it's two screens, it's one Morse phone, so it should be heavier. But
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
your nose is going so in circles.
Yeah. Stop laughing at me. Okay, shush. I
So
mean,
what
okay.
is Samsung Ultra?
Wait, so what's it? 229 for the S21 Ultra. And this is what, about not quite 50 grams more. It's like 40 odd grams more. 40
No,
grams,
it's not
42
so
grams.
bad.
Well, here's a good way to put it into perspective. The Galaxy Buds Pro with the Galaxy Buds Pro case weighs 44.9 grams. So it's like slightly less than, say, carrying an S21 Ultra and a pair of Galaxy Buds Pro together in one
Okay.
pocket. There's a good way to put it. Um, also,
What's the width? What's the width on there?
listen, I didn't walk into the thing with a tape measure. Okay, I swore I took down this down in my notes, but apparently I didn't take it down in my notes because I was like, it's a 6.7 inch. What's it? 6.7 inch on the outside, 6.2 inch on the outside, 7.6 on the inside. Why do you need to know anymore? You know how much it weighs. You're good.
I just want to know how bulky, like if I keep it in my hand. So here's my phone in my case. Is it gonna feel like that?
No, like if you've ever held the the Z Fold 2, it wasn't actually that
It
thick.
wasn't. It wasn't.
It's gonna be more or less the same. I think it is. I think the dimensions are shifted slightly again, but I mean, it's not gonna be like you're gonna put in your pocket and it's gonna bulge out, and people are gonna be like, "Hi, what's going on over there?" But it's obviously gonna be a little bit more bulky than your average phone. But again, it's essentially two phones stacked on top of each other when it's closed. Come on.
Sorry, do you remember Balky from Perfect Strangers?
No, I'm too young for this. Don't know what you're talking about. Shush. Moving swiftly along. Yeah, so this is also IPX8 water resistant, like the Flip 3, which I think is phenomenal. It's also using the Armor Aluminium, Gorilla Glass Victus. It's got the new protective foam, so people are not going to do that thing. That could be fun. The biggest thing that people are going to be talking about is going to be the S Pen, and I don't know if you want to get into that now. If you want
Hold
to
on.
get into the light stuff.
Before we get in
You can ask about the camera. I knew it.
We have to ask the camera.
Okay. Triple camera. You can see that from the pictures. They're all 12 megapixel sensors though, which interesting. So 12 megapixel ultra wide, 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel telephoto. The glass covering it is what Samsung calls super clear glass. It's made with Gorilla Glass with DX. Don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's a very fancy glass that's going to be very strong and durable, but it's still going to have nice and clear, so the lens is going to get good quality picture. Because with a proper camera, it's always about the glass. So I feel like Samsung's trying to embody that with this. But yeah, it's got that. It's got Dolby Atmos and stereo speakers. Hallelujah. Thank you very much. Love this.
It's also that it's so big they can put a 7.1 sound system in that thing.
I mean,
just all around the room. Just
imagine. This is why you must get the Galaxy Buds 2 with it. You don't need that. It's available in Phantom Green, color I want, Phantom Black, and Phantom Silver. That's it. The Phantom Silver actually looks a lot like your phone, like the S21 Ultra. That sort of finish, but with a matte, slightly, it's very similar to that, which I think is pretty cool. It's a slight sort of variation on that, but it is very similar to that, and I think that's pretty cool.
I also think they could just drop the Phantom. I believe everything has Phantom on it. They just drop it.
No, but remember with the Z Flip, not all of the colors were called Phantom. Only one of the colors was Phantom. All the others were just, there's the color. And I was like, okay, this is unusual. Do you want to get into pricing now? Or do you want to get into pricing after we talk about the controversial stuff?
Let's get into the pricing now.
Okay, so remember
I'm clenching. I'm knipping right now because I know it's greatness, but
So same sort of pre-order and launch date as the Z Flip 3. So 1 September to 16 September is the pre-order, launching on September the 17th. When the original Fold came out, the first one, the one that had some issues, that was about 50,000, just over 50,000, 50. It's a lot of money. Then the Fold 2 came out and it was below 50,000. It was like 40, not by much. It's like 48, if I remember correctly, 48, 49. So barely below, but it was there. And remember, the difference between the original Fold and the Fold 2, besides the price, was there was a lot more tech in the Fold 2. Like they
Yeah.
basically completely redesigned this thing. So that's more impressive. And the fact that they kept the price still below 50 was, don't
Look,
love it,
it's a
but
thing of if you let's say you take what's it in when the economy gets bigger, what's it
when you make the circle bigger, what? When the economy grows.
inflation. Think of inflation, right? No, in terms of you go,
Okay.
it's a new phone. It should be either the same price, which would mean you're making it cheaper, or go more. So if they're going even down by 5, it's a big deal that they're
Yeah.
cutting back and they're feeling ways to cut back. So again, like I was saying earlier, within the next 5 years, these things are going to be household goods
No, they are.
if they maintain this.
They are. And I mean, like I said, at the hands-on thing with Samsung, people were kind of alluding to the Fold 3 becoming, hey, this is the sort of new Note kind of thing because of the S Pen. But I mean, I think it's a very interesting categorization because when the Note 20 Ultra came out last year, great phone. What was the selling price of that? About 38, 39,000 Rand for that phone?
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
The Z Fold 3, available in two sizes in terms of storage, 256 or 512. Starting price, or as I like to say, from the cash price is 39,999. They've kept it under 40, and it's basically the same price as what the Note 20 Ultra was selling for when it came out. It's a little bit more expensive than I'd hoped, but it's a hella good price.
Yeah. It's a
Because
lot of money, but
no, it
again,
is.
it's still much cheaper, and it's impressive. It just shows you that they're upping the tech. They are putting in the work to get it cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, there were rumors. No one gave any sort of credence to these rumors, but there were rumors that Samsung might eventually look at doing like an FE version or like a light version of a Fold. That could be interesting. But I mean, if you look at what the Z Flip was last year, that was like 35,000 Rand. This is like 4,000, 5,000 Rand more for a lot more tech.
Yeah.
So, again, we've got to look at context. It's a lot of money. I'm not denying that. It's a lot of money, but there's a very specific person who's going to buy this. So, but yes, okay. We know all of that now. I think the pricing is pretty solid. I think I'm happier with the pricing on the Fold than I am on the Flip.
How much is the so there's also the designer line of this I'll say this set of product.
Sorry, I've got to use my other voice. The Tom Brown edition.
The Tom Brown edition.
Yes, we've got to speak like this because that's very, very fancy. It's
That's
very posh.
Tom Brown fancy.
I can't afford Tom Brown. I can't even be in the same room as Tom. We're not getting it in South Africa. We didn't get it last year with the Flip.
We must just know it's available because there's also the BTS one that's coming out with a Flip. I don't know if they'll bring it here. But,
okay, whoa. Where did you see a BTS edition? Calm down.
Do you not see the BTS ads? The BTS is coming out with so BTS and Samsung have been doing things for the last I think 2 or 3 years where they've had their own phone with their own line as well. So last year they had I think it was the S21, and then there was like the buds and the like a cover and all this other stuff. You get like BTS product in the box. So this year I think they're doing the Flip. So they're getting a Flip and like a full line of a watch and the buds as well to come out. This is the same way they've done with the Tom
Brown.
I keep missing the brown part. I don't know why.
You want to say Tom Ford? That's why.
So with the Tom Brown, there's like a full line. So BTS is coming out with their own line for their things as well.
Why do you know things that I don't? I don't know if I believe you right now. Did I just miss this part? Because I mean, it was in none of the official material I got from Samsung. So I think we need to double check this.
I come from a family of BTS army fans or army whatever.
Listen, yeah,
so they were all announcing. Also, BTS has an ad where they're doing that.
Yeah, but that's just the normal Fold. I mean, Fold thing. You remember they were just in the stuff. They didn't.
No,
I
they will come
can't.
out with a line. BTS will come out with a. Those people are money making
I
machines.
know they're money making machines, but that's a lot of money to do a BTS special edition because who's the audience that's going to buy that? Like with the S21, I get it. With the S20, with the S20, FE, I get that. That's a more mainstream, more affordable. It would be great if they did it. I can't see them doing it because also there's already like all these different colors. Now you want to for the Z Flip 3. Now you want to do another one? Like I could be wrong. We will see. We will see. I'm not going to take a bet on it because
On the streets.
no, sorry, listen, I can't. I'm too. I would never survive. You've met me. Not gonna happen.
But also the Tom Brown looks very nice. It's white with the red, white, and blue finishing. It's so
Comes in
clean
this
and so
fancy
glossy.
box.
A
Like,
box that we're never gonna see ever again because once you open it, you're done with it. But it does look good. But I'm not the target market for it. Won't lie. But
yeah,
I can only imagine the price on those things though.
I asked Samsung straight up, "Is this phone gonna come?" And they were like, So
It shouldn't. I don't think it's something like that should come to the country. And if you do want it and you're from the country, then go. You must import that thing because
yeah,
it mustn't come here.
listen here. But okay, so we've spoken about all of this. It's the S Pen. We need to get into the S Pen discussion because this is the only thing that people are going to talk about this phone. Or at least the thing I think people are going to talk about the most. So I made a prediction when the original Fold came out. The thing that I referenced earlier, when I was sitting at the S10 event and the Fold and blah, blah, blah. After that event, I predicted Samsung is going to eventually drop the Note and they're going to replace it with a Fold. Because in my head, it made a lot of sense. Because what was the Note? When the Note first came out, it was the biggest phone on the market. People were like, everyone's getting smaller phones. Motorola was still leading the way. Not even the Razor. What was it the V something? I can't remember what it was, but everybody wanted it.
V300, no V900, I think.
V5, I don't know, something like that. And Samsung is like, hey, we know everyone's making smaller phones. We're gonna make this larger phone, and we're gonna put a stylus in. And people are like, oh, you out of your minds.
There was also a Sony Ericsson that had that, by the way.
Yeah,
where
but
the basically the text pad or the keyboard text pad flipped on and off the screen.
Yes, I remember that.
It was a great design. I always wanted that phone, but anyway.
But here's the thing: it's like Apple wasn't the first one to make a touchscreen for like a phone, right? But they made the best one that now everyone's using touchscreen. Samsung did the same thing with the Note, where people were like, "Why would you make a phone with a larger display? Why would you make it with a stylus?" It's the best thing they've ever made. Like I love my S21 Plus, but I'm a Note person through and through. Here's the funny thing: I very rarely even use the stylus, but I like knowing that it's there. And the thing with the Note is, the Note was the biggest phone that Samsung made with the largest display, or as I like to call it, the largest canvas, pen. And you could do the most. It was productivity first and foremost. It took everything that you saw in the S, refined it a little bit, put in a new chipset that was released late in the year, bumped up the camera specs. It just sort of took everything you loved about S and just pushed it a little bit further, squared it off a bit. But now you've got a foldable phone, which has got a larger display, is also super productivity focused. How are these things going to exist in the same stable? It doesn't make sense. Now, I don't know if you saw the news recently. Sam Mobile, so Samsung Mobile, it's a sammobile.com. It's a website that's focused on all Samsung stuff. They launched a online petition for Samsung to bring back the Note. And I'm like, you are a tech website. You should not be involving yourself in this. Also, this is spam. If I had to see this, no, this is spam. This is like all those Bitcoin tweets you see on Twitter. I'm like, how do I delete this? But I don't know how many thousands, like over 20,000 people signed last time I saw. It's probably more by now. You're trying to get Samsung to bring back the Note. It does not make any sense. And the only thing that was keeping the Fold from becoming a proper Note replacement was S Pen support. And with the Fold 2, the glass, they call it UTG, ultra thin glass.
Yeah.
Like that, pushing a pen on, that was going to be a recipe for trouble. It wasn't going to work. They obviously needed to strengthen the glass first, make it, receptive to the pen, and then you can go into it. And now they've done that. You've seen the pen. There's actually two. There's the S Pen Pro, which they actually announced with the S21 series. When they announced the S21 series, remember with the Ultra, your phone,
Yeah, yeah.
you got the normal S Pen, which I've used, the one you could buy separately, like a normal Bluetooth one, which weirdly enough, I was able to use that same S Pen on the Ultra and on the Tab S7. So I could just S7 Plus, so just
That's
swap
great.
between. Great. But then they also announced that there was an S Pen Pro. But they never said when it was coming. And I pushed and I pushed and I was like, give me a price, give me a number, give me a date. Wouldn't tell me. And I couldn't figure out why. Now I see why. It was always meant to work with
For
us.
this way, yeah.
But now they've also got an S Pen Fold Edition. And this also leaked, and people were like, what's the difference? I saw someone tweet, oh, the S Pen Fold Edition can fold. And I'm like, so the difference between the two is this: it's the size. So the S Pen Pro is a fairly biggish, S Pen. It's it's probably close to the size of my Apple Pencil.
Yeah.
That's the Pro, but it's got Bluetooth, it's got air gestures, the stuff you're used to from
Yeah.
a Note S Pen. It can do all of the fun stuff. The S Pen Fold Edition is a lot smaller. It's almost half the size. Okay, maybe not half the size. Say like maybe 3/4 the size, whatever. And it's not Bluetooth. So it doesn't have all of those extra fancy features. So it can do basic S Pen things. So you can still write on the screen, you can still do certain things, but you're not going to get air gestures and air commands or whatever they call it. And it needs to be smaller because imagine the pen is bigger than the phone. Because remember, you can't slot it into the phone because
The pen is
where are
mightier
you
than the
going
fold.
Wow, that is good. But I mean, people are like, oh, I want a device where the pen can slot into fold. I get you. I understand you. Where must this pen go? There is no space. And if they make it thicker, even on the one side, then your phone is thicker. And that phone already weighs more than the Ultra. And everyone's like, but the Ultra is heavy. So obviously work needs to be done before they can even consider doing something like that.
So,
Okay,
sorry.
wait. Last part before you.
Okay.
So with the Fold Edition pen, you get a case. So let's pretend this is the fold, right? So here's the back of it. So you've got blah blah, and this is the hinge part on the outside, right? So the case covers the side and the outside, covers that side, and and then you've got a little pouch where you slot in the S Pen here. And I was like, listen here, it's not the worst solution I've ever seen. I don't love it, but considering the limitations they had to work with, I think it's the smartest option they could have done. And because it's not Bluetooth, it doesn't need to be powered. It doesn't need to be charged, like the S Pen from the Note does. So I think they made smart moves considering the technological limitations of that. I mean, there's laws of physics. There's only so much you can do. And people are like, put the thing in the thing. Remember the last time when people were like, Samsung, do the impossible thing? They made a Note 7 because we wanted a far larger battery, but in a smaller body. That's what people asked for. And look at what happened. Samsung tried for you and they were like, listen, we can only do so much now. So I get why people are frustrated. I get that it's annoying that you have to buy this as an optional accessory when you're paying so much for phone. I understand all of that. But they're not forcing you to use the S Pen. And to be honest, as much as these 20 odd thousand people who are Note fans were like, oh, we love it, we love the S Pen, how much are you really using that S Pen? It's probably spending more time in the thing than you're actually using it. Let's be honest here.
That's yeah. So so I had the Note 10 Plus and I had the
Mhm.
stylus in there and loved it. I won't lie, I loved it. But the most I used it for was a clicker to take photos. That
Well,
was
maybe the odd note taking
yeah,
thing, but
the few notes. But it's just a thing of like what I loved it. What I did like was the convenience of being able to have it
yeah.
fold away.
So
So
you
I
don't
go,
lose it.
yeah, so I get that. I like that. But at the same time, technology must up and it will get bigger before it will get bigger before it gets smaller. We've seen it with phones and everything else. So I
Yeah.
do think the S Pen has gotten bigger, but it's got so much more because it's not just Samsung working on it. What's the company called? Wacom?
Wacom. Yeah.
Wacom? Yeah, who's our leaders in also in tablet design and pen movement. So I feel like them
Well,
stepping up to that just means it's gonna get better.
it's interesting because Wacom was actually part of this whole thing. Like, there's a great interview that was done with a Wacom executive about the S Pen. So, Samsung is working with the world leaders as Samsung always does. The industry leaders, the world leaders in every different industry to make sure they're giving you the best that they can. And this thing with the S Pen, like, if you look at the size of the S Pen from the Note, will it fit in something that's slightly thinner than this?
Yeah.
When it's open. I don't know. And if they do, how much are you compromising the integrity of the build quality? Because it's still taking up space, and that space is something they could use for battery. That space is something could be used for waterproofing. Also, it's now another thing that's got to be IP rated. Like, I think people don't think about all these things. They're like, oh, but then also, how much thinner does this S Pen have to be? How is that going to feel when you're holding it in the hand? It's not going to feel like a good experience. And people are complaining and criticizing Samsung for this. And I'm like, I get that you're frustrated, but can we look at things holistically and
But also,
logically?
it's a phone. The other thing is, sorry, we need to also treat it like it's a phone. Because I get a tablet can have for a tablet to have a pen makes sense. For a phone to have a pen is a super luxury.
No, it is. It really is. And I mean, this is going to be a folding phone with an IP rating that now needs to have a pen built. Like, how much more luxurious do you want this thing to get? But then also, here's the best part: the price must still drop.
Yeah.
So you want a lower price, but you want more features in. And I was like, okay, people, I get why you're frustrated. This does not make sense.
So they want the people want the Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife. Swiss
Yeah,
Army knife.
but then if the stuff doesn't perform to the standard that they want when it's a slow arm, like, why did you put it in here? And I'm like, this is my big frustration. And I think that Samsung is very conscious of these things as they're making these products. They're doing the best to balance out what you need while giving you more options without trying to force you to take it. And I think, again, I get why people are frustrated, but I think Samsung did the best that they could have. And I think they did the best anyone could have under the circumstances. I'm happy with what they've done.
The other thing is, it's like, this is only the third one they're making. Which
Like, can you calm down?
if you put into all the factors, but it's also the thing of people on the internet like to be angry about shit, and they want to be like I don't
this
know.
is a great device. It is a mind-blowing device. It's a great design. It's a better build quality. They've got better features in. They've upped everything they need to up. They dropped the price, and you still want to complain.
So
They even gave you an S Pen. You want to buy it?
So here's the other thing: the S Pen. Can you write on normal things and will it be recorded? That's the other thing that
you mean that thing where, like, with the note, where if the phone was not active, you could write on the screen, would take down the note?
No. Like, it doesn't have an actual pen in it. That's the other thing I was going to ask. Like, can you take down notes? Because I know you get no, man. Like, that thing of, if I was to write on a page, would it pick up anything? Would it pick up that movements? Do you understand?
What S Pen does that, Yasin?
I know the S Pens don't do that. That's why I'm asking.
No,
are they there yet?
No.
But are they there yet with the technology?
No,
that's what
because
I want to know.
Imagine how expensive that would be.
It's not impossible. They're not there. The pens do exist. This is the thing. Those things do exist, right?
They do exist, but mainstream, come on.
Yes. So now I want to know, when do you think Samsung gets there with those things? Because they will end up there. I'll tell you now, like, Samsung's going to end up in a world where you can write with a pen that will be recorded.
So, okay, I get you. I was going to reach for this, but I can't. My arms are too short. I've got a Rocketbook. I don't know if you know what a Rocketbook is. So, okay, it's too far.
Go get it. Just go get it. Go get it. We're going to wait here.
Hold on quickly.
Go. I'm going to sing. Are you pausing? No.
Okay, I'm back.
Are we recording again?
I didn't stop, so we're just gonna carry on. You can just edit this out.
Did the people hear me sing now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a Rocketbook, right? It looks like a normal notebook. I don't know what I just did with the pen now. I think I dropped it. It's fine. But the pages, as you can see, they kind of look like normal pages, but you can see it's a bit glossy. And you can't see, I don't know if you can see the dots on here and the QR code.
No, you can't really see. I can see the QR code. I can't see the dots.
Okay, so there's a QR code on each page, and there's like little gray dots. So you get when you buy a Rocketbook, you get in different sizes. You get a pen with it, and it's a special pen that essentially can just be wiped off, because also it comes with a microfiber cloth. And what you do is you got the QR code, you download an app to your phone, and you write in here like you normally write notes. And you can wet the microfiber cloth, wash this off, because it's sort of almost plasticky-ish pages. And then when you open the app on your phone, scans the QR code, and it picks up everything that's on the page because of the gray dots, and it converts it into text that you can access on your phone. So why do you need this really fancy stylus to do that when you can do this for a lot less? In fact, I'm going to be using this a lot more now because
I
I keep
think
forgetting I have it.
I think Samsung's next step would be to merge the two products, the S Pen and the Rocketbook.
Well, I mean, look at what they do with um, what's it, OneNote from Microsoft. They already do such a great tight integration, and I get annoyed when I'm using something that doesn't have the tight integration. I was like, not very nice. Um, but speaking of which, actually, they've got this new feature with the S Pen, or maybe not so new. Yeah, it's more like an evolution of something they've done before, where when you're writing normal handwriting, it'll pick it up and convert it into text, but you can do it on the notes thing as well. And it's a small thing, but again, it's a thing that I love because if you that's my handwriting on my iPad, right? And I'm like, sometimes even I sit there and I'm like, what does it say? Um, but Apple on their devices and certain apps and features and things, you got this thing where you can just write in a text field. Um, and so it can be like on a browser, and Samsung is doing this now as well. So like the browser, the URL where you normally type, I don't know, google.com or samsung.com or whatever, you can take the pen and you can now just go in and you can write like that. And it'll pick it up in that text field. And if you write Samsung.com, it'll pick it up, convert it, and then it'll take it to Samsung.com. Apple's done it for a little while. Samsung is now finally doing it. And I was like, this
That's
is
great.
pretty cool because now also, imagine you've got your Fold, you've got your Tab S7 Plus, you just do the thing, you've already got you got a Tab S7 Plus, you can probably use, I don't know for certain, but you can probably use the same stylus on the S7 Plus on the Fold. Like, come on. Why? And if you live overseas where you've got one of the new Galaxy books, some of them come with S Pens. Why do you need another S Pen? Samsung thought about this. It's just we don't have the stuff over here. That's why.
Again, it's a thing of it's the ecosystem, and a lot of the times when companies go on these big benders of not big benders, benders in terms of like they're gonna structure all their things into one way. A lot of us can't see it, but I'm pretty sure there's a long term plan for what they want to do with the S Pen and how they're going to change it into the next thing at least. The same with all the flips as well, flips and folds.
No, listen, I fully agree with you. I think there's a long term vision, and I think what we're seeing obviously are little bits of the vision, and people aren't quite understanding where Samsung is going. I come from a company where big picture, long term vision is the way we used to do things, the way the company still does things. So for me, it's normal to think like
is
this.
hitting
So
a
for me, it's
little
like,
snag.
okay, so I was getting on my soapbox about things and how people think about things and the state of technology, and I just need to calm down because exactly, it's probably what people think of me. This is also why I have like 3 different podcasts and all this stuff. But anyway, moral of the story is Samsung is doing great things. They know what they're doing. They're trying to listen to their customers as much as they can. I mean, they're giving you as much as they can with the limitations of physics and technology. Expect great things because we've seen great things from them. I want to see how well these ranges are going to sell, and my prediction is the Z Flip is going to outsell the Z Fold, which shouldn't surprise anybody, but I think it's the way it's going to go. And I'm not surprised because that Z Flip, one.
So my thing is, I hope both devices sell, so that Samsung gets the confidence to make more of these devices.
I
Because
think
personally, I only want to buy a fold or a foldable. I'll say a foldable, a flip or a fold in
more
maybe
rollable.
in yeah, maybe a rollable too. In like maybe in 4 or 5 years time, I think I'll move over to a device like that.
I
And I
think
think
it will.
if for the two, I would go with the flip.
I think it will become more mainstream by then. Oh, we didn't talk about with the Fold because we got so I this one got so caught up in the S Pen thing. You were talking about now the Flip. So the Flip. Remember, I mentioned to you, it's got the hole punch camera on the inside. The Fold on the inside. When you open it up to its normal ginormous 7.6 inches, it's got an under display camera. So on the original one, sort of more towards the right hand side, there was like a hole punch. Which I didn't hate, but it was just like a weird placement to me because ideally you wouldn't want it to be in the center, but you can't because that's where the glass folds. So now what they've done is they put an under display camera. So you are going to see it in certain instances, but you're not going to see it all the time. Like you'll see some of the footage and the pictures where it looks like it's like a normal hole punch, but in other stuff like text and white pages and stuff, you're not going to be able to see it. And it's weird because if you go check out my TikTok, Instagram, all the stuff, you'll see I've got some pictures and stuff of it where you can see it's the same phone, same setting, same spot, like literally seconds apart, where you can kind of see the whole bunch, what looks like a whole bunch, but then the next one you can't see it. So it's a very weird implementation. It is the first phone from Samsung that's actually got this technology in, but it's really cool. And I think that's awesome. And I think we're going to see more of that going forward. It is only a 4 megapixel under display camera, which people are like, oh, but why? What am I going to do with for me? You're just going to use it for video calling. Are you going to be this person who's going to have a device that's basically the size of an iPad mini and take selfies like this? Are you going to be that person?
Don't
Because
be
then
that
you're an
auntie.
idiot.
Don't be that auntie. I
Close
don't want
the
to.
phone.
Don't come to my event and then you take out a screen
No,
and now you're taking photos of the whole screen.
you close the phone and you use the outside camera to take the pictures. Okay? End of story. That is it. That is us. We're
And
done.
also, if you do want to take a top quality selfie, open it, but then turn it the other way. So you're looking at the back, because then you're seeing a screen and a high quality camera will be
No,
next
you're
to
not.
it.
No, you're not. There's only a camera on the back. There's no screen on the back. It only folds one way, like a book.
So just think it opens,
wait,
right? So the screen
wait.
is facing me. Okay, show me.
Here's a book, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it closed. So here you've got your outside display. You've got your selfie camera.
Yes.
Open it up. You've got your under display camera over there.
Yeah.
And then at the back of it, you've got your triple camera setup, right?
Okay. So
There's no display next to the triple camera.
Yeah, but now
On
open
the
it.
outside.
Now open it and let the backs face you.
Why? So then you might as well take a picture with the selfie camera. On the
No,
on the
but
side.
now the high quality camera is facing you.
That's
Also,
just
I'm reaching over my camera, almost like I can point to you onto the side.
Yes,
Because if
that's
you're
just
taking with the back, you're going. It's a high quality, the highest quality camera and the screen. It makes sense.
or you stand it up, right? Because it can stand because it folds.
That's
right?
also true.
And then you use your watch.
Beep beep.
Don't encourage people to do. No, don't. Please don't.
Guys,
Okay.
you'll find a way. You'll figure it out and how to take the best photos from your foldable. And when you do, please tell us.
Tell them I don't want to know about this. Because I'm not condoning this behavior. But okay, that is us. We're done. Go check out the phones wherever you can. Even if you can't go into the store and go check it out, just go online. That's really great. It's really cool. I'm waiting for my stuff to arrive from Samsung so I can spend some time playing with them. If it arrives soon, maybe Yasin and I will do some videos together. I think it'll just be videos of Yasin taking selfies. Maybe not so much.
And how many ways to take a selfie in that thing?
But seriously, I think these are great devices. I know these are not big spec jumps, but I don't think they need to be. I think technology is at a stage now where we are moving towards a new future, which is foldables and rollables and stuff, but it needs to be refined before it can become mainstream. And it's not just the hardware that needs to be refined, it's the whole experience, which is software. I think Samsung's working on obviously both. They can't show you prototypes of future devices yet, and you can see what they work on, but they can show you the software evolution. And I think that's what they're doing. I think it's great. If you've got a Z Fold 2, you don't need to get a Z Fold 3. If you've got a Z Flip original or 5G, you don't need to get the Z Flip 2. If you have like an S20 or an S10 and you are thinking it's the time to jump, it's the time to jump. It's also the most affordable it's ever been, which means next year is probably going to be even more affordable. The Z series, because remember they've got the A series, they've got the S series, they've got the F series, we don't really see over here, the M series. The Z series is going to expand. So I predict we can probably see more affordable ones come in the future. We're probably going to see rollables come in the future.
Maybe
It's
they're
an
going to come with
exciting time.
origami phones. Like you can get
Listen here.
a swan
Adidas
and then
has
you onto the phone.
No, Adidas has got this great backpack that does that. And I was like, I saw it in South Korea once, and my jaw dropped because I bought this beautiful Adidas bag in Paris, and it wasn't as good as that one that I saw, and I wanted it, and I was upset. So sorry, that was a tangent, but yes, who knows what we're going to see in the future? I think it's going to be amazing. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this is going to mean for S22 series, and stop complaining about the S Pen. Okay, just stop it. That's me. I'm done now.
Okay.
Oh, before we go, next episode is not going to be video, but catch us for the next episode of the Normal Rapper podcast, because I'm going to go check out a brand new phone from Honor. We've heard of them. Remember Honor? They used to be part of Huawei. They're not part of Huawei anymore. Honor Magic 3. No word as to where that's coming to South Africa, but I'm going to be checking it out. There's a global launch on Thursday. So literally tomorrow, if you're watching this on Wednesday, on the day of Unpacked. And tomorrow is Honor's big thing. Honor Magic 3 Snapdragon 888 Plus. Don't know how many phones are on the range. Very excited to see it. We will have all the information about that for you on the Friday episode of the podcast. There's other stuff coming in the next couple of months I cannot tell you about yet, but stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Okay, now I'm done.
Meow, 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 meow.
That what Yassine said. Now get the flip out of here. I'm going to fold. That was lame. I can never become a stand-up comic. It's okay. I do a dick. Bye. We're out.